So good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us. It is an honor and a privilege to have you this night, and we are very excited. It is really a blessing that you guys are here. My name is Grace Nzula. I'm a consultant with HR. I'm an HR consultant with Atara Solutions. I am the host of Get It Right with Atara Solutions. Yes, the program you're tuning in to is called Get It Right with Atara Solutions. We are in the business of discussing all issues that affect employers and employees. We are in the business of changing the world through information, and that is what we do here. We also do trainings in organizations. So if you have staff that you need trained, not only employees, including churches, including universities, including groups of people that you wish to be trained on something, we do that, and we will be honored to support you on that. We do this every Tuesday from 8 p.m. And of course, we do this courtesy of Tara Solutions in partnership with a number of organizations. And allow me to give a shout out to our partners so that we can get to understand how we can lock in those jobs. I mean, I have been getting people wondering how we are going to survive in Kenya right now, and I'm sure Uganda, that the situation is not different. And my friends from Tanzania, I apologize. I did not have enough time to engage one of your speakers. I got a beating for that, but worry not. I will make sure that next time we are as inclusive as possible. So our partners include Stallion Construction Company Limited. Stallion Construction is a construction company that if you're wishing to renovate your office, if you're wishing to subdivide your space, if you're looking to build a house, if you're looking to make any changes around the structures of your home or your office, if you're moving to a smaller office, I mean, in the current economic situation, then you might want to move to a smaller office. And you're looking for somebody to support you in subdividing, then Stallion Construction will do that for you. We are Pathway Service Solutions, Solution Services. Pathway Solution Services are in the business of HR consulting and training. They offer training through their LMS. LMS is Learning Management System. So Frank has been very kind to us. Quite a number of you have been able to get training. For those of you who tune in to Get It Right every other time, they have been able to get training for free, fully sponsored by Pathway Solution Services. Pathway has also been training different companies. By the way, every Tuesday, we've been announcing a lot of people to take advantage of this training. If you're an organization and you're looking for specific training, please contact us. Frank has always been ready to share the learning sessions with you, and he'll be able to support you as much as possible in discovering in whatever topic that you want to start. So, right, we have, okay, so I've talked about Stallion Construction Company Limited, and then we have Solutions Limited, and then we have Panessa Training Center. Panessa Training Center is a carpentry and woodworking institute. If you wish to work with your hands, if you wish to actually create something from a piece of wood, then Panessa Training Institute is the space for you. We have quite a number of courses, and we have an August intake ongoing. So please make sure you register. If you know somebody who could benefit from those sessions, please let them know. We have weekday classes, we have Saturday classes. So if you wish to have that as well, you can take advantage and train as you do your job. We have WeClean. WeClean is a carpet cleaning and cleaning company. If you have a sofa in the house that you're wondering, oh my God, what do I do with this sofa? It is so dirty. Then you need to get in touch with WeClean, because they come to your house and clean your sofas. They also clean they have a machine that cleans carpets within 6 minutes. So they actually promise 24 hours delivery, because they collect your carpet from your home, they go and clean it, and then they deliver it the next day. You do not have to. I know Nairobi is quite cold. Please do not stay with a dirty carpet, because we have somebody who is there to make that, to give you that solution. We have Suluhu Mediation Center. By the way, team Suluhu Mediation Center, they will be with us at Nokras on Saturday. If you want to learn more about becoming a certified professional mediator, please come to Sagana this Saturday. The Suluhu Mediation Center team will be on site. Suluhu Mediation Center, of course, if you want to become a certified professional mediator, they're the people you go for first. They're really good. I did mine with them, and I can tell you, it's one of those sessions that really had an impact for me. Then we have Profiles International. I call them the people. Profiles International are the only people who are certified to offer Genos certified emotional intelligence coach. They also have personality tests. They also do psychometrics analysis. So if you're doing recruitment and you wish to include psychometrics test in your recruitment exercise, please get in touch with Profiles International. Because we have Kapula Mintito. Kapula Mintitos are in the business of selling coastal snacks. So if you're here and you're wondering, oh my God, I'm craving mabuyu. Oh my God, I'm craving kashata and all that. Then they have cashew nuts. They have CMOS gel. By the way, you should Google what CMOS gel, how the nutritional value of CMOS gel. So get in touch with Kapula Mintito. You can find more information on their Instagram, or you can get in touch with me and I'll be able to link you up. Of course, we have Elsamea. Elsamea is one of the most beautiful places I have ever been to. It is located in Naivasha. If you're in Naivasha and you're looking for a place to just take your vacation, vacation, solocation, whatever vacation. If you want to write a book and you're wondering where to do it from, then you need to go to Elsamea. If you just want to think through your life and your life choices, including the session we're having today, then you can go to Elsamea. They actually have a very, very beautiful, with a very, very nice ambience. It's right outside, in front of the lake. So you can actually, there's some rooms where you book, you actually have a view of the lake from your bed. It's very, very nice. So make sure that you don't struggle with your next holiday or your next, whether you can also go for an afternoon tea. If you're just in Naivasha and you're wondering what to do with yourself, please visit Elsamea. They have a museum. You can take a tour around the museum to get to understand the life of Elsa. Elsa was a lion. And then, of course, we have Steadfast Quality Solutions. This is our partner from Kampala, Uganda. They offer HR consulting and public relations consulting services. So if you're in Kenya or in Kampala and you're looking for people to support you in HR or in public relations, then please look no further. We have Herbert Zake. Herbert Zake, I asked Herbert Zake to be our speaker today. Guess what he told me? I'll tell you one day. But other than that, allow us to invite you to the most exciting event we have ever planned. We have a road trip coming up this weekend. If you wish to just meet up with people, hang out with people, and just network, and I'm sure the team today is going to talk about networking as part of the ways you can get that to secure that job. There's a meme I saw. Telling somebody I've been sent by so and so is stronger than being told, is more powerful than being told to send me that CV. So we are going to be in Kasagana. Please come and network. The event is only going for 4,000 bob. It includes dinner. We are going in the afternoon from 2:30 o'clock. We eat dinner. For those who want to come back to Nairobi, there's the option of coming back to Nairobi. For those who want to spend the night, you can spend the night. We have transport if you wish for transport. We have transport at an extra cost. If you also don't want to get transport, you can definitely carpool or just drive yourself. So please don't be left out. We have Madam Kuresha, who is the executive director of IHRM, who will be one of our speakers. We have Simon Bevy of Transform Nations. He is awesome. He has written, I think, 4 books. My favorite of his books, which was the first one I read, was Daddy Destiny. If you're struggling with a boy child, he has a program for boys to men. And then we have CHRP Roy Sasaka. He's the CEO of GAF. GAF is National Government Affirmative Action Fund. He's a wonderful, wonderful speaker, of course. Oh yeah, that's me. And then we have Dorothy. Dorothy is a risk expert. She'll be there because our topic is risk. We have a panel discussion on risk taking, because part of what you're learning today will require you to take a risk. Whether you're jumping onto business, whether you're jumping onto more work, then you need to do that. And then, of course, we have Dr. Oscar Olima, who is the County Secretary and Head of Public Service from County Government of Migori. We have Newton Siele, who is the CEO of Philips Therapeutics, the Pharma Division. And of course, we have our sign language interpreter, who unfortunately is unwell today. So she wasn't able to join us. But here we are. We always try to be inclusive unless we can't. Unfortunately, we are not able to secure a person in good time. So please do not be left out. Come to Sagana. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be awesome. Dress code is jeans and boots. And if you do not wear jeans, you can be free. Right. So thank you very much for your time. And without further ado, Oh, Kevin, you're back. Please introduce yourself.
I am Kevin Adipo, working with the Tara Solution, and as always, I'm always here every Tuesday to co-host with Grace and help all of us to understand matters of employment and to demystify on ways employees and employers can relate with each other. Back to you, Grace.
Thank you very much, and allow me to recognize the presence of Maston Minor. Maston, how are you? That's my good friend, and of course our HR consultant Anne Wamonja is on the room. I have seen you. Don't tell me you're also looking for a job. Anyway, that's on a light note. Right. So allow us to jump into the meat of the day. We are discussing winning strategies for transitioning into a new job. And with us are two wonderful recruitment experts who are here to share their knowledge and expertise on matters employment. How do we get the next job? How do we get the job? I mean, Jai, today I was talking to somebody in manufacturing, and they were telling me that they might be declaring redundancies by October if nothing changes between now and then. And I'm like, my God, what do people do? But then I'm also reminded, better today. So that was in the morning. In the evening, I'm called by somebody from Rwanda. It's like, Grace, recommend for me send me 3 CVs of very good accountants who can move to Rwanda. And I'm like, okay, so where is the balance? We are saying there are no jobs, then there are jobs. And yeah, so Jairus, please, 2 minutes of introduction, and then you tell us how we can secure the next job. And of course, we'll pave the way for Shamim. And then, of course, we'll take your questions. Feel free to put your questions on the Q&A. And of course, the people who are tuned in on Facebook, you can put your questions on the chat. So take it away, Jairus.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for this opportunity, Grace. My name is Walemba J. I'm the CEO, founder, JCVs. I'm a career strategist and certified resume writer. I work for a company called JCVs here. So today, I'm glad to share knowledge with you guys. Thank you. Shamim, next.
All right, thank you very much, Jay. And thank you so much, Grace, for inviting me. My name is Shamim Walusimbi Nabagalansuga. I'm a human resource specialist. I serve as the Vice President of the Human Resource Managers Association of Uganda. And my full-time job, I work as a global recruitment consultant with Aldelia Global Manpower. And I'm happy to be here and really demystify what they call the job search process. Thank you.
So you can go ahead, Grace. So I'll be sharing my screen just to have us understand. So this evening, we'll be talking about winning job strategies that can increase your chances of finding a job or getting placement. Basically, that is our topic for today. And I think the strategies that we're going to discuss this evening, if taken into consideration, can help you increase your chances of getting employed. So I'll go directly to the slides. And the first point we need to understand is the first thing you need to do when you're looking for a job is to first define your career goals. Define your career goals. By defining your career goals, we mean you need to clarify what you're looking for as an individual. Have a career plan in what you're looking at. So create a plan. If you're looking for a job as a HR manager, if you're looking for a job as an accountant, if you're looking for a job as a consultant, have that plan and see how you can develop ways in which you can achieve that plan. So the next thing is to consider your skills interests, values, and the type of job that you want and the industry you're targeting. Number two, which is the most key part of the job search strategies, is to update your resume and cover letter. I know so many people have heard about CV revamp or cover letter optimization. I think you will always wonder what happens in this instance. So I've always said that, and with experience in recruitment, I think Shamim and Grace and the other HR professionals here will agree with me, is that 90% of the job seekers do not give attention to job search strategies or job search efforts. So what happens is that we give so much attention on our social media sites, and we tend to miss out on things that will really require, or things that will really help us in terms of job search. So we can take 90% of our time on social media, TikTok and Facebook, Instagram, but we cannot take the same time when applying for a job. We've had candidates that forward CVs to from different employers to another employer, and we forget that the same information is sent to the other employer. So the first thing you need to do when you're updating your resume is to tailor your resume and cover letter so that it can be able to fit the job that you're applying for. We've talked about the ATS system, where now the ATS system is used by most organizations in screening the applications. So when the ATS system is screening applications and you get an automated message of not being successful for a specific job application, then it means that you've not done enough in terms of aligning your CV to this job that you're applying for. The same should be done with the cover letter. I know we have so many tools online that will help us understand and help us score assess the CV or the cover letter that you're creating for that specific job, just to help you score that CV or cover letter and understand that it fits or meets the requirements for that job or meets the requirement for the ATS system. So make sure that you're able to do that and you're able to align it to the job that you're applying for. So the second thing you need to do about your resume is to update your use action verbs and quantify your achievements. I think unless you are an intern, and even most interns have achievements that they've had at their places of work. If you've worked as more than 1 year, you should be having achievements that you've had in that specific organization. So those achievements are what employers are looking for. They want to see you make the same achievements in the organizations. So when organizations are hiring, they are keen to see that the value that you're adding to that organization, and that value can also be included in your CV. The third aspect when on the job search strategies is networking. I think some of us do not understand the importance of networking. As I said, research shows that 70% of jobs that we're looking for are done through, are gotten through networking and referrals, 70%. It's so easy for someone to tell Grace that, Grace, kindly refer me 3 accountants, or kindly refer me 3 customer service personnel. Because now with Grace's referral, it will reduce the recruiter's time in terms of shortlisting and going through several CVs. So that person who has that trust in Grace will be able to shortlist or recruit from the the people that Grace has shared. Grace can only share your CV if she knows you and if she knows that you're looking for a job. So the second thing is that you need to let people know that you're actively job searching, so that when they are able to get these referrals, or they're able to get requests from clients or requests from friends, they can easily refer you. Then the other thing is utilize online job platforms and networking sites. I know so many of us are on LinkedIn, but we just go on LinkedIn and then keep quiet. Yeah. When you're on LinkedIn, you need to optimize your profile. Make sure that your profile talks about what you're looking at, and make sure that you are able to connect with at least 5 to 10 people weekly or daily in at least 5 to 10 people daily. Connect with 5 to 10 people daily in your industry, so that this will help you grow your platform. I've had this week. I've had 3 meetings with the guys from. Had 3 meetings. The first one was guys from Liberia. Had another meeting today with guys from the UK. Yesterday, I had another meeting with the guys from the US. Just because of how my LinkedIn is, because I have so many followers, and so they're looking for starting businesses in Kenya. They're looking at selling their merchandise in Kenya, and so they can be able to use me as part of that program to be able now to reach more followers. So it's not about you. If you have many followers, it will not only benefit you, but it also make the potential investor, potential recruiters look at your profile. So make sure that you are able to align your profile and optimize it to be able to fit the jobs that you're looking for. Set up job alerts. On LinkedIn, you can set up job alerts and then regularly get these postings that you desire in the field. So depending on where you want to work and depending on the job that you're looking for, there are so many sites that you can use. If you're looking for jobs globally, you can use Indeed, you can use LinkedIn, you can use Glassdoor, you can use the Career Builder. If you're looking for jobs locally, you can register your accounts with Fuzu, you can register your accounts with Brighter Monday, and so many others. So make sure that you have accounts with those sites and platforms that are offering these opportunities. Then the 5th aspect of networking, networking is what you call research about companies. Make research about the companies. Identify the companies that you like to work for. If you like to work for JCVs, identify JCVs and then do a thorough research on their website. Go further, connect with the people from that organization. When you go to their LinkedIn page, hit like, follow their postings. Always make sure that whatever they are doing in terms of, if they're doing something in terms of, if they have webinars, if they have events that you feel that you can contribute to that, make sure that you're able to share some of the events, repost some of the events, then talk positively about those companies, understand the vision and mission of that organization, then tailor your application materials to align with the company's needs and the culture of that organization, then demonstrate your knowledge during interviews. So the 6th aspect is create a professional online presence. Create a professional online presence. Build a strong online presence. For example, in LinkedIn, I think it's all about personal branding, something that Shamim will be talking about. Ensure that your profiles are up to date, showcase your skills and experiences, then engage the relevant industry discussions. When you're talking about LinkedIn, we need to have you guys at least make 2 or 3 posts on LinkedIn that are relevant to what you're looking for. Ensure that the posts that you're making are making sense to the potential recruiter or the potential employer that's looking for a candidate, so that now you can grow your presence on LinkedIn. Then the 7th aspect of job search is prepare for interviews. HR in the house will confirm with me that there are times that we invite in candidates for interviews, they even don't understand their CVs. I remember interviewing a candidate last month and he even didn't know the position that we had invited him for. And the interview invite was very clear about what we need, what you are inviting the candidate for. So preparing for interviews is something that should be basic for any job seeker. Research the commonly asked in interviews and practice your responses. That's what we call the mock interviews. Have a friend interview you or have yourself interview, then looking in the mirror, you can be able to respond to these questions. We have so many tools online. We have the YouTube channels. We have, you go to Google, you can get such questions, then try to respond to them. Try to have a friend ask you and respond to these questions. Prepare examples that highlight on your skills and experiences. Always make sure that you have the JD in your hand. When responding to any question during an interview, make sure that you have the JD. All questions are surrounding the JD. So make sure that whatever you're responding to basically now captures the JD that you applied for. Then additionally, prepare to ask thoughtful questions about the company and the role that you're looking for. When you're talking about asking questions, most of the candidates will ask us, we talk about selfish questions, questions that are self-centered and not about the organizations. Those are things that will put you off, will eliminate you in that interview. So you help the recruiter in elimination, and the recruiter is able to make an easy decision when they remain with a few candidates. So do your best when preparing for interviews and make sure that you prepare well before you go for an interview. After the interviews or networking events, you do follow up, send personalized thank you notes or emails just to express gratitude and reiterate your interest in that position. I think less than 5% of candidates will do this. And in most cases, most will keep on pestering about when they need to hear from the interviewer. So make sure that doing a follow-up message for any for an interview that you've had is a sign of being responsible and a sign of showing that gratitude to the potential recruiter that you're the person they're looking for. So your personality, your character can be described through that, making that follow-up interviews. Thank you note, sorry. Then expand your skills. When you talk about expanding your skills, we mean that there are those roles that will go, there are those courses that will go hand in hand or will be an added advantage to your already career that you are in. For example, if you're an accountant looking for a job without a CPA nowadays, it's very hard for you to get a role. If you're in HR, it's becoming a norm now that you need to have CHRP. If you are in procurement, you need to have the KISM, the SIPS or KISM course certification. So every career, I think every career nowadays has that professional course that you need to have. So expanding your skill means that you taking that extra course just to make you stand out with other recruiters. I've said time and again that I think if you're advertising for an accountant role, if you're advertising for an accountant role and you give it 1 or 2 days, you'll get more than 1,000 applicants applying for the same role. So out of 1,000 applicants and you need only to interview 10 candidates, this means that you are you'll have to go through about 50 CVs, you'll have your 10 candidates ready. So the 950 applicants will have their CV not even opened. So I always advise that the first thing you do when you see a job, you apply for that role immediately. Apply for a job immediately you see it. I've had candidates where you call them and I have an opening, I need an accountant. Then someone tells you that I'm sorry, my CV is on the laptop. I'll send you my CV when I get home in the evening. And the recruiters wants to start shortlisting for the same position that morning. So such people will not get an opportunity even to get an interview because they feel that their CV is so heavy for their phones or for them to carry to move around with it, or even to have them on the email. Make sure that you are always ready to apply for that position. Then another thing is number 10, the last aspect on job strategies is that stay positive and persistent. I've had guys that say that I've applied for more than 100 jobs, I've applied for more than 200 jobs with no feedback. These people start giving up easily, talking about, they start falling even into depression. I think I'll always blame the job seeker for getting into depression, because there are things that we do as job seekers that will always let us down when you're applying for jobs. There are some of us that will apply for jobs looking at the deadline. You want to apply for the job. If it's closing on Friday by 5, you're applying for that job at 4 p.m. on Friday. You've been seeing the advert for the last 2 weeks. You want to apply for the same job on Friday. How will you expect? The truth is that most of the recruiters or consulting companies will start shortlisting immediately they start receiving applications. I remember there's a day I went for an interview on Wednesday while the job was closing, then following week on Tuesday. So set realistic expectations and then learn from the rejections that you get. And then keep refining your approach. If you have an issue applying for a job, or if you have an issue getting feedback for that position that you've applied for, refine your job search. Talk to your friends, talk to your peers, get a mentor, help them guide you in doing the job applications, help them guide you career-wise. And also make sure that you're applying for a job that you at least meet 70% of the requirements. Don't apply for a manager job while you have only internship experience. You'll be creating trouble for yourself, because it's automatic that you'll get a rejection for that application. So if you get small victories, like even getting an interview, something that you've not been getting for a while, make sure that you celebrate those small victories and then work on improving what you're not doing well. So for those few remarks, I think I'll be waiting for more for questions at the end of this session. Always remember that finding the right job takes time and effort. By implementing these winning job strategies, you can increase your chances of landing the job that you desire. So need to reach us. Those are our handles. JCVs, we are in Main House, just opposite Ambassador Towers. Thank you so much. I'll be waiting for questions.
Thank you very much, Jairus, for sharing. Of course, if you want to have your CV revamped, then Jairus Walemba is the guy for you from JCVs. But before we start taking questions, please keep putting your questions on the chat. Allow me to welcome Madam Shamim, who will also share with us a few more pointers, of course, different from what Jairus has said, and then we can then go ahead and take your questions. Karibu sana, Shamim.
Thank you so much, Grace. And Jay, that was truly amazing. Thank you for sharing all those strategies. Indeed, I can't refute, you are an expert in this. So I will dig a little deeper into really optimizing your profile to enhance your referability, because you know it always starts with you. Grace, can you confirm that you can see my screen?
Sure.
Yes, we can.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, Shamim, we can see your screen.
Okay, perfect. So the key looking to grow, but the one thing we don't realize is how it looks like on the other side, how it looks employer, the CEO, the person who is looking to fill a gap. So I just want us to open our minds to that thought, that perspective, and see how to optimize our profiles to enhance our referability. Just like Grace alluded, most of the successful job seekers are really selected based on referral. It might be a fair application process. Yes, you go ahead and apply, you're shortlisted. I'm going to share with you the shortlisting process, the talent acquisition process. But in the end, definitely, we need to do reference checks before we can trust you enough to get you into the position that you've applied for. That is all being referred. That is part of the process of ensuring that your profile is strong enough to fit the position. However good you are, however wonderful you are in the interview process, however amazing your CV is, if it reaches to the point when we do background checks and each and every one that we're asking says, don't risk, then of course we won't select that particular person. So it really starts with you. So the very first thing I'm going to talk about is your brand. You as a candidate, you as a job seeker, you as a professional who is hungry for growth, you who has needs and you know that you've outgrown where you are right now. It all starts with you. So what you see before you is just a summary of a professional profile of an individual. I just used myself as an example. basically every single item that is listed on a professional profile. Right now, they're just words. Right now, you're just seeing a name, but behind this is experiences. Behind this is activities, things that you were given to do and you delivered, things that people entrusted you to handle and you delivered. Then you are proud enough to put it on your profile. So everything to do with the job search starts with you and the intentional steps that you're taking, even at this very moment. The fact that you, our listeners, are logged on to this call, it's pure indication that you're willing to learn. It's pure indication that you're hungry for growth and you know what it takes to go to the next level. So the first thing you have to do is really focus on your brand, that is the activities, making sure you're reliable, making sure you do as much volunteering. Personally, my career has been based on volunteering because it's something that I learned. When you do something out of your own will and you don't expect something instant in return, usually people see that as a soft skill in itself. They see that you have something that drives you, you have that inner self-drive that people always yearn for in organizations. The last thing that someone wants to do is hire someone who they're going to have to push around, they're going to have to force, they're going to have to call, they're always saying that they're not available, they're not able to fulfill their duties. There's always an excuse. There is a gap that needs to be filled and they need to be able to trust you. So the first step is build your profile. Just like Jay alluded, it starts with the post that you share on LinkedIn. Some people go on LinkedIn just once in a while when they want to update that they've got a new job and they go out. But someone who is consistent will share, will be seen as an
We have totally lost you, Shamim. Shamim, your network. Right. Peter Gekonyo, I don't understand your comments on the reimbursement. I don't know what you mean on the meeting reimbursement. I don't know what that is. You can maybe clarify. So what Shamim was talking about, Shamim, are you back? Shamim, are you here?
Yes, sorry, my internet is unstable, but let me try to rush through it.
Okay.
All right. Reputation matters.
Shamim, you may have to log in with your phone.
Did you find out?
Okay, you can go back 30 seconds.
All right, so this is just a chat. If you have ever applied for a job, how did you find out about the vacancy? Kindly share your experience in that chat. Personally, I've also been through this. Some would say social media. My last job, it was a managerial role. I just saw a message on WhatsApp. Someone shared a link and I applied and luckily I got that job. But my current job, I was headhunted on LinkedIn. So we all have our different experiences. We can keep sharing just to learn from each other. So as you share in the chat, I'll just share a few of the common job search platforms. One side is the visible market. There is print media, employment agencies like human resource consulting firms. I work in one, Aldelia Global Manpower. The online job search portals, social networking sites, government career lines. Sometimes they actually post the jobs either newspaper or on the notice boards. Or you can, some people are proactive enough to just directly go in, walk into the organization and prove their worth. I know it's unconventional, but some people have gotten jobs. Some people have actually gotten jobs created for them through that method. There's also networking, just like Jay alluded. People are not going to know your capabilities if you don't share it, if you don't tell them. So when you know that you are in the job market and you're looking to grow, just share with your friends, tell them your strengths, tell them your capabilities. If you go for an event, don't hesitate to just share what you have done in the past. If you're actively looking, tell people. I know sometimes people find it shameful that the fact that I'm not employed, maybe it indicates that I'm not wanted. But at that point, you share your strengths, you share your abilities, then you share how you're available. Because they shared that information with me. They didn't come begging and saying, I have this and these qualifications, I have this and this experience, and I'm able to add value. Please help me with fast search. And their job fairs, expectation that's given to them active at the time that
Shamim, we've lost you again. Right. Jairus, you can be responding to the numbers to the questions about you on the screen. People are asking for your number. You can share directly.
I've shared number on the chat. The other questions on and answer of the chat.
I was noticing questions being responsive. See, you just don't know. So about the resume, that you have a perfect resume, but did you know that you have approximately 7 seconds to make an impression? Only 7 seconds. Within those 7 seconds, you have to make sure the person who's reading
Shamim, your internet, maybe you can switch off your video.
Have really shown your abilities, and you make sure, one, your personal and contact information is clear. I've received multiple CVs. I look at CVs every day, sometimes even hundreds on a daily. But you'll find that some resumes don't have contact details at all. Some have, and you see that there are 1 or 2 numbers missing, or the email is wrong. So usually those particular applicants, they lose out. You'd want to get to meet this person. We also have targets as recruiters. We have a position, a vacancy, and a target. We need it filled within this period of time. So if you come with a CV,
Shamim, your internet, maybe you want to switch off your video. Shamim, we lost you.
okay, sorry about that.
Maybe you can switch off your video.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe that will help.
All right. Yes, so I'm still sharing about the CV. You just have to make sure your contact details are accurate. We don't want to have to, sometimes if you're really good, we go to your references and try to reach you through your references, just to make sure you actually exist. Because some profiles are too good to be true. And the fact that the number is not available, you even wonder, Did I get it wrong myself? So don't make it hard for the recruiters. Just make sure you double check the grammar, spelling, and most of all, personal and contact information. Then your personal statement, just like Jay alluded, you just have to make sure it's customized. Because if you're applying for, let's say, an accountant job, and you've done previously multiple roles, there's administration, there is bookkeeping, just try to make sure if you're customizing, the first thing that the recruiter sees is that personal statement. Try to make sure that it is as aligned as possible, such that they have the enthusiasm to look at the rest of the information. Then there's qualifications and trainings. Make sure that these are in a chronological order, meaning the most recent is at the top and the rest down. We've had a lot of people missing out because the first qualification on their CV reads they graduated from high school. So as we're looking for someone who has a master's degree at the minimum, but you find that they wrote the master's degree at the bottom of their qualifications, meaning they started with the lowest, going all the way to the master's at the bottom. That way it's very easy for either an individual or even a system to miss out. So make sure that the most recent is at the top, followed by what happened before. This is the same with the employment history. Make sure that the most recent employment is at the top. We've also had many people not making it to the shortlist just because they wrote the first job. I was an intern in this place. I was an officer, yet the job that they're applying for is a managerial job or is a head of department job. So me, in the 7 seconds I have to look at the CV, I'll just look at the highest role on the CV, seeing that it's an officer, I'll put it aside. So it's just easy to error. So just to make sure that you don't cause yourself to be left out, make sure you have everything in chronological order. References, make sure they know, they are aware that you have included them in your CV, because the last thing you'd want is for us to reach that level of checking your references and all of them say either they don't know you or they cannot comment. Some people refrain from commenting, saying, I don't want to be held responsible, I don't want to be quoted for this. So bottom line, customize your experience to each job application and highlight your achievements. We'd need to see some metrics. We'd need to see what you achieved, not just the roles. Some people copy and paste their JD to put it on the CV. So next, I would like to demystify the shortlisting process. This is a very common question. So many people call me and call other human resource professionals and say, I'm applying for jobs. It's really depressing me. No one is calling me back. They can't even give me feedback. Why? Do they have their people already? Is it that I'm not good enough? Why am I trying so hard and yet some people don't have to go through all this process? It is still about your brand and making yourself memorable, but it's also a process. The talent acquisition process. It's a process of identifying and acquiring skilled workers to meet your organization needs. It's really developing a robust candidate pipeline for effective selection. So most people wonder, why are these people advertise? This job is really good for me, but why are they pushing it everywhere? Don't they know that even if they push it just where I am strategically, I will apply and I will get the job? Why do they have to push it everywhere in all platforms, going all over, LinkedIn, WhatsApp? The thing is, we actually want the application to come in numbers because it's a pipeline. The talent acquisition process includes lead generation, whereby you really have to make sure that you increase the chances of selection by pushing out your advert as far and wide as possible. That way, you even get someone, maybe the person that you're looking for, the perfect candidate, is miles and miles away from you. So you have to make sure you do whatever it takes to make sure as many people as possible at least see the advert, and you can put in measures to make sure that the shortlisting process helps you to sieve what you need. It also includes shortlisting. That's where you shortlist based on the minimum criteria. Interviews and technical assessments are next. That's where people go in shaking and shivering, saying, I don't like interviews. Some people even turn down their jobs at that point because they have that fear of failure, which we're going to demystify as well. Then if you go through, they can ask you to do a psychometric assessment to test your behavior or cognitive skills. Then vetting, that's where they do the background checks, academic reference, whatever is in your CV. Is it real? Did you actually go to this school? Did you actually graduate? Did you actually work here? They call the HRs, they call the supervisors that managed you just to see if you are really genuine. If all that is okay, you get the offer. So it's very easy for someone to assume that they were left out. But the truth is some companies use application tracking systems. So it's possible that as long as they put in the keywords, we want this degree, we want this number of years experience, we want this and this, and you apply and you don't fit at least 70% of the criteria, then the system automatically does not include you in the shortlist. But if it's that reduces human bias, but at times it's humans that check. The process is still the same. You have to make sure you fit the minimum criteria before you mind, such that by the time you apply, you try to understand if you're good enough. Then, if you reach the point where some get excited, you can do to make sure that this description, it's important that before you go for the interview, you have a copy of the job description. If you don't, it's very okay for you to ask the recruiter or the person that invited you, may I please have, they also know that you need to familiarize yourself with it. And if you know someone who's close to you, you can confide in them and say, for this interview, I've just researched on common questions for this role. Please pretend to interview me. Ask me this question and give me feedback on how I respond. Get a few samples and just try, just to remove that nervousness from you. Then, as you're being asked, you have to try your best to use relevant examples to bring out your skill. Try to make sure you're as close to what they're looking for. Some people want those who are industry specific. I was in interviews today coordinating, and they only were looking out for someone in a specific industry. There are so many people who are qualified for the job. So everyone was just talking about the profession. Really, the person might have a very steep learning curve. Let's keep looking until they narrow down on that the person who just spoke with passion about the industry that they were going into and about how they want to make an impact based on what they did before. You just have to be a very, very good listener. At times you don't even hear the interview question. It's okay to ask, can you please repeat? The worst thing for a recruiter is to ask a question and you get a response that is totally not related. That way you don't even know how to score the person being interviewed. You end up putting a 0 just because to redefine the answer. Yes, show
We've lost you again, Shamim. Shamim, are you there?
adapt. Once you show confidence and you're willing, it's really about trust. When you focus on your money, you have needs, you have family, you have dependents. But if you focus on, sorry, I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can.
Okay, so let me go on. All right, once you focus on your strengths, you just make sure that they see you for what you bring to the table, not what you have as a weakness. For physical interviews, time management is very important. The last thing you want is entering the interview room when you're panting, when you're tired, when you're sweating. You just need to be early enough and be smart. Make sure you dress for the job. Also research about the company, because that question never fails in an interview. And then this is lastly, at times the world has changed. We get invited for online interviews. At times you'll find candidates who do not know how to use the online tools. So just be proactive and familiarize yourself with these tools. Microsoft Teams, Zoom, Google Meet. Test for a stable network. Make sure you are able to use your video, because most times they want to connect with you. Your audio should be clear. Make sure you're not having a noisy background. Learn how to share the screen in case you have to present. Ask for clarification and be honest. So thank you very much. That's what I have for you. And I'm ready to answer any questions that could come. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Shamim, and thank you very much, Jairus. Shamim, with your last comment on sharing screen. We were interviewing a candidate the other day, and we asked them to put on their no, not put on their camera, add volume or something. There's something we asked them to do on Zoom. And do you know they could not? They had to actually go and get their wife to come and support them on that. And it was, yeah, we are like, you know what, in this day and age, we are just, I mean, that was one of the reasons why the marks were lower compared to the other candidates. So yes, I agree with Shamim, you need to actually have your facts, or rather your digital side on check. I know Jairus has really attempted to answer a lot of questions on the chat. So if we can also go ahead and ask about well, anyway, sometimes I think we ought to do this more often to help people get jobs, because some of the questions I'm seeing and I'm like, ooh, yeah. Yeah, so Jairus, maybe you can tell us about the referees. Do we include references, or do we write that they can be contacted later?
On referees, with the data protection aspect, we can have available on request. So in most cases, when we're going for interviews or when we do job applications, the referees will only be contacted after the recruiter is sure that you've passed the interview. So you can always provide the referees after the interview. So available request is okay.
And putting references is also okay.
Yeah.
There's no harm.
There's no harm, unless maybe you're trying to hide some information that you feel that should not be shared.
Right. And in line with the same references, before I come to you, Shamim, there's somebody who is asking, what about employers who keep giving the bad information, or when there's reference checks? As a recruiter, why would you take feedback of a former employer as truth? I have seen an executive director submit a false report over their former employer just because the employer pointed out an area of fraud where the employer was a part of. So how do you deal with a former employer who gives bad reviews about you?
No, we always say that when you are exiting an organization, the transition process should always be smooth. Make sure that when you're leaving employer A to employer B, the transition at employer A is always good, because this employer will have a role to play in your career in future. And we've always said that you can always try and call an employer, even using another number. Try pretend that you are a recruiter. You need to get information about a certain employee, maybe yourself now. So hear what the employer talks about you. Then when you're doing referees, when you're providing referees, I know there are organizations that will go directly to the website, get contacts, and then call the organization. But when you're writing referees, make sure that you're writing someone who can recommend you positively in that to any employer that calls back. So issues with them, I know mostly with private organizations, you exit an organization and then the employer do not want you to leave. Or maybe you're joining a competitor, they'll not want you to leave. So they'll have to give that false information about you. It's very unprofessional for employers to do that. And I think maybe from a legal point of view, someone can take action against that.
Yeah, that and probably just for survival, and this is totally not orthodox, or it's not the gospel of, this is gospel according to Grace Nzula, let me put it that way. If I were you and I needed to put references on my CV, and especially in regards to my former employer, I will put an HOD, not necessarily this person who has beef with me. You really don't have to put the executive director as your reference in your CV. Yeah. You really don't have to put the HR. You can actually put the finance director. You can somebody who, because you have the freedom to choose who speaks about your professional experience. And no, it doesn't have to be the person who has issues with you. So as you choose your references, make sure that you're also very careful about who you're putting out there, right? And I saw somebody, I saw somebody today, and I was advising them. They've been working for the last 5 years. Where on earth is your project supervisor on your CV? And they have had 3 employers. You know, you have grown. You'd rather even put somebody who comments on your character differently, but you have evolved from schoolwork. You need to now evolve into the job market. That now, unfortunately, I had to wear my HR role, not my my moderator role. Now, Shamim, we're coming to you. There's a question on money. How do we explain how much we want to earn? By the way, you guys, for those of you who are asking about ATS and LinkedIn, go to our YouTube channel. There are like 7 YouTube recordings on job seekers. Look for those ones. There's one we did with Jay. He walked through people how to create your CV. We did with Jen Mutisia how to optimize your LinkedIn for job search. We also did with Jen Mutisia on ATS and how to look for a job. So make sure that you go to our YouTube channel and see what is there. So right, Shamim, tell us. By the way, we did with Anwa Monja, we did how to do negotiation for money, and we also did how to answer interview questions. Please check on those on our YouTube channel. Jacinta, you can share our YouTube channel for people to go and reference. But Shamim, tell us, how do we negotiate for pay?
Well, one thing we should know is at times companies always have budgets for certain positions. However, if a position is very key to the success of a particular project or a particular department, one of the things that you can use to negotiate, to increase your negotiating power, is first of all perform well in the interview. And
Shamim, we've lost you. Maybe you can go back 30 seconds. Shamim, we've lost you again. Okay. As Shamim comes in, Okay. I was just trying to read something there. Let me go back to the Q&A. If you have a burning question, please put it on the Q&A. The chat is really moving fast, so we may not see it. So Jairus, as we wait for Shamim to come, is wearing a natural or light makeup to an interview recommended?
Yeah, as long as you don't overdo, because the first impression always lasts, and that impression that you're giving that recruiter, the body language is also key during an interview. So you make sure that what you're providing during that interview is something that can please the interviewer. I will prefer something that is not so shiny or something that is not so ile haileti color sana, but make sure that you try at least be natural.
Let me also add this. If you're interviewing for a government job, please wear a suit with a tie for men. Like that is standard government dress code. Make sure you wear a suit and a tie because that is what their code says. For the ladies, please don't come please don't come wearing some funny trousers. Make sure that you just try and look decent. Yeah, so Shamim is typing her answers on the chat, but as Shamim does that, let me also ask this question. Yes, our YouTube channel has been shared on the chat. I've actually shared one that we did with Jairus a while back. Yes, Eric, I understand on referees. If that comes to be, then you just give the referees they're looking for and be specific about it. Where is this? It's not advisable. Okay, I cannot see. All right.
The comment that you are just reading, Grace, sorry. On Mathangani Muya, he was saying that it's not advisable to use current boss or manager as to colleague as reference in a job application. You may be required to use it after you leave, but make sure they can say something good about you. Some bosses are malicious or get upset that you plan to leave. What's your comment today on that?
You answered the question, or you are asking a question, Kevin?
No, it's a comment. It's a comment,
yeah.
Yes. But yeah. So I was just trying to get Jay's views on the same.
My views on? I was typing, so.
On that comment where Mr. Mathangani Muya is saying that at times it's not advisable to use our current employers or colleagues as references, reason being others are malicious or they get upset because you're planning to leave.
That is very true, but I'm sure we've worked in environments where your immediate supervisor will even support you in your job search. I think I've seen that happen. If you have such a boss, why not have him as your referee? So between that time that you're working with this person, you should be able to understand the person, his personality, and if he's someone that can support your development. If they support your development, you can have them on your CV. If they don't, then don't have them.
Right, thank you for that, Jay. Shamim, you can see there's a question from Felix Samuel Kagimu from Uganda, who's saying, I'm interning at the Parliament of Uganda ICT department. How do I impress all the staff so that I can be retained for employment? You can probably answer that. And allow me to read out Shamim's answer on the negotiation. She says, you can enhance your negotiating power if you perform well in the interview.
Let me take the answer.
Okay, Shamim, you're able to speak. Shamim.
Yes.
Uganda is very hilly. Yeah.
I think I can respond on that.
yes, before you get there, let me finish reading Shamim's comments. You can also research on the market rate for a position similar to yours in a similar industry and scale. With this data, you can create a case for the salary budget to be enhanced, especially if you have emerged the best in the interviews. Yes, you can respond to that, Jairus. Oh, Shamim, you want to respond? Please go. Shamim? Okay, so she's responding on the chat. As you do that, allow us to also answer somebody. Jared, there's somebody who's saying that they have really been applying for jobs on LinkedIn, and they're wondering, does it really work? And they sound like they're about to give up. What do you think?
With LinkedIn, it works perfectly. I think I've had several clients that have we've worked together and they've gotten jobs through LinkedIn. One thing I've just responded to him, I told him just maybe to connect with me on LinkedIn and have share his profile with me. I can have a look at the profile, then advise, because LinkedIn, the recruiters are also keen on what you've posted on LinkedIn, how your profile looks like. There's someone that I was talking to today in the morning, and this person has been on LinkedIn for more than 10 years, and she has 23 connections. So I was asking her what she does on LinkedIn, because now she's even on premium. I was asking her what she does on LinkedIn, because now people seeing her profile, it's not so easy, because she's just there on LinkedIn. What Shamim said about you only get to LinkedIn to update your new job, then you exit until again when you get another job. So LinkedIn should, the way we use our social media channel platforms like TikTok, the way we use our Facebook, the way we use our Instagram, should be the same way that we are using our LinkedIn. I've said about posting relevant information on LinkedIn at least 2 to 3 times a week. Yeah, then connecting with at least 5 to 10 people a day. Because in a week you have around 250 connections. If you're sending connections a week, you have 250 connections. So if you're doing out of the 250, if you say that I'll be doing 5 connections each day or 10 connections each day, you still have in 7 days, you still have around 100 plus connections that you have not sent. So make sure that you're sending those connections and send to relevant people in the industry. Someone has talked about having done several communication on LinkedIn, but with no response. What I've said is that I've always advised people that you should always be professional when communicating. Personally, if you send me a hi message with a new number on WhatsApp, I'll not respond. Because when I respond, hi, how are you? I'm fine. How are you too? So that communication breaks now the professionalism. So you want to see someone who talks on LinkedIn, whether on social media, on WhatsApp, you're talking about introducing yourself. I'm so and so, have these qualifications. I'm looking for a job in this field. So someone seeing that message will respond to it immediately, because some of the recruiters, I think, personally, I'm always very busy. So if you do a hi, I'll not respond. And I think the same applies to most recruiters, because you are busy, you are held up, and you cannot respond to such. So if you are professional, I'm sure someone will respond to your message. So if you cannot be able, you are not able to type such professional messages, you can come to me or can talk to me online. I can send you samples of messages that you can send on LinkedIn to be able now to attract feedback from the recruiters or the people that you connected with.
Right. Well, Jesse Kakenga says, I have always been a culprit of late applications. I've often found myself applying in the last minute. You also said that recruiters may select the applications that come in first. Isn't it unfair? Comment on how this affects applications, Jesse. Jairus?
I talked about at some point when I was still job hunting, I applied for a position that was the deadline was the following week on a Tuesday. By Wednesday, I had been shortlisted for an interview, which I attended. By the end of that week on Friday, the job had been closed. So someone still looking at the deadline is applying on on Tuesday at 4, just before 5. So the recruiter already closed that position, and you still expect to get feedback for that position, unless it's a position that has that where they are reviewing applications on rolling basis. Make sure that you apply for a position immediately you see it. You should always have your cover letter and CV ready anytime. Ukiona ukiwa kwa gari, you are in a traffic jam, apply for that position. Grace, you're muted.
Shamim, have you seen the question about LinkedIn and whether to put the green banner on, especially when your CEO is active on LinkedIn? I would suggest you keep your job search details to yourself and target specific people to follow so that you can see when they are posting their jobs. Because, or what do you have to say to that, Shamim? I don't know that you're able to speak or you'll just type it out. Maybe you can try. Can you hear me? Jairus?
Yes, I can hear you.
You can hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, my things have, right. So, yes, I once applied for a remote job posted on LinkedIn that turned out to be a scam. That is true. You have to be very careful about the jobs you're applying on both cases, by the way, not only on LinkedIn, but everywhere, including WhatsApp. Jairus is always sharing things about a scam job. I mean, Jay, you can also give us a story about scam jobs and how to tell.
On LinkedIn, to identify scam on LinkedIn, 90% of scams, those people will approach you. They look at your profile, share with you a job that mostly accounting and admin jobs are shared. And there are common companies that are used. We have Del Monte, we have Mata Hospital, we have New KCC, we have Crown Paints. If someone approaches you on LinkedIn, be so keen to check their profile. And maybe if you see it's from Del Monte, check at least 1 or 2 people from Del Monte, then you can converse with them. You can just ask them if that role is existing. Alternatively, you can even tag the company in that role so that you are able now to confirm the authenticity of that role. Also, Brookside has been Brookside and Kevs have been also used mostly by scammers. So I'm always free. If there is a question related to job search, I'll always respond. You can always reach out to me, whether on LinkedIn, whether on Facebook, on WhatsApp. I'll always respond and tell you if a job is a scam or not.
Okay. Shamim, I hope you're still typing out. Huh? I cannot. The question I asked you is on the Q&A. Maybe you can type out the answer for Violet, not for Violet, for, I've forgotten for who. Right, Jairus, Violet is saying, in your opinion, does LinkedIn premium account increase chances of being seen, or if the basic account is used correctly, it would be sufficient?
Now, what LinkedIn account, premium account means is that you'll be more visible to potential employers, and also you can be able to see anyone that is has looked at your profile. You can make more connections than someone who is on basic account. But if you have a basic account that is well outlined and you keep on posting content that is relevant, you'll always get recruiters reaching out for you. So if you have a basic account, you cannot afford a premium account, I will advise you go with the basic account, but make sure it has the necessary information needed for you to get noticed by employers. And as I said, posting is very key. Make sure that you are able to post at least 2 or 3 a week to be able now to be visible.
Right. Shamim, you can also share your contact details on the chat. There are some people asking. I've seen you put it on the chat. Maybe you can reshare that again. Jairus as well, if you can also put your numbers on the chat so that you can see how you can support. By the way, just so you know, they do CV revamps and interview coaching at a fee. They need to feed and survive in these countries. So in Kampala and Nairobi. So Shamim, somebody was asking for your number. Okay, so on matters, because I don't think we can ever exhaust. There's somebody who's saying, I have tried everything, and I just don't seem to work, Jairus. What do you say to them?
I've tried everything from what? Now, what I'll advise is that the first thing, you need to have a basic CV, a CV that can always apply for jobs that you are qualified for. If you don't qualify for a job, don't apply for it. Don't go for it. The second thing, get a mentor. If you get a mentor, you're getting someone that will be able to walk with you through this journey. So make sure when you get a mentor, you have a work plan. Have a mentor for not more than 6 months. Get a work plan with that mentor. Make sure that if you are mentoring, and a mentor does not necessarily mean that someone that is in the same profession. You can have someone that is in a different profession but can guide you on how best you can be able to walk through the job search journey. So make sure that you get a mentor, apply for jobs that you qualify, have a CV. Then another thing you need to do is network. They say that your network is your net worth. So make sure that you network. I think for most people that have linked with, have referred for jobs are those people that I know. So make sure you network and tell people that you've networked with that you're looking for jobs. Let them refer you.
Yeah, and also follow up. I get a lot of requests and I most likely will forget, being that I am doing a few other things. So you can always remind somebody that you're also still job searching. Some people do it 2 or 3 times and then they give up because they think, I am telling Grace Nzula, she knows everyone. So why can't I just get a job, you know? And it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
I have to remember, like I get asked and I have to like really remember, who is this who was looking for this job? Because in as much as you're asking for it, you need to either remind somebody or you have something outstanding that will actually prompt me to remember. So there's an interesting question here, and probably it's going to, before we come, Shamim, I hope you're ready with your giving us hope. I have 10 years experience on credit management with no papers, but I have a bachelor's degree in project management. I like doing training and community development, and I have the urge to change my career path. What should I do? I have lost interest in credit management because it's currently depressing.
Should I go first?
Yes.
No, I've always said that, you know, sometimes we get into these positions and then feel comfortable and we forget our careers. One thing I always advise is that if you will have been willing to continue with credit management, then you will have taken a course in credit management. But because he wants to go back to his career, the only thing that I know he can't start as an intern, and going for entry-level position sometimes might, because I know with credit management, with 10 years experience, he's at maybe a 6-figure salary. And starting as an intern or a lower position project assistant might be too costly for him because of the expenses. So what I really advise is that if it's something that you're interested in doing, that you can start on volunteer basis, then have that volunteering in your CV, have that volunteering experience in your CV. To some extent, it should come even fast as the first role in your CV, so that now when you're applying for jobs in project management, the potential employer sees that experience first. So highlight the skills that you get from that position that you feel are relevant to the jobs that you want to apply for. If you're applying for project assistant or project manager jobs, go on Google, check the project manager jobs in Kenya. Maybe if it's in Kenya, check those project manager jobs in Kenya. look at the JDs for the different project manager jobs. In most cases, you'll find that the concept of the key skills for all those roles are similar. Highlight those roles in those, highlight those skills in your CV based on the volunteering role that you're doing. Then be able to apply for roles in project management using that. What recruiters are looking at is it's a position that talks about experience. Make sure that you have that experience. As much as the volunteering experience is giving the skills, make sure that you highlight those skills in your CV.
Okay.
I've seen this. Betty asked about for CV revamp. Can it be done for different roles, or rather, is it okay to have more than one CV? I think about CVs. We talk about customizing. We talked about customizing your CV just to fit a specific position that you're applying for. So customizing your CV means that now you are aligning that CV to the specific job that you're applying for. If you are customizing a CV, you can have different CVs, but always make sure. I've seen people that have named their CVs sales CV, customer service CV, accounting CV. If you name your CV that way, there's a problem because a potential recruiter seeing that CV will have it at the back of their mind that this person has just customized this CV to fit this specific job. So if you're talking about a sales CV, have your CV with the name your CV with the official names. If you are Walemba J, name it Walemba J CV. Then you know the CV that you've named Walemba J is a sales CV. But also, you can have one CV that now can have a summary of all the areas that you've covered and all the areas that you are keen on applying for.
Right. Kevin, do you have anything on Facebook?
Not really, Grace. You can go ahead.
Okay. Right. I know we can never really exhaust this conversation. By the way, every time we are having a job seekers conversation, last time I think we ended up finishing, I don't know at what time, but I'm seeing a few hands up. Allow Asaf Opio. I have allowed you to talk. I don't know whether Lynette Ojuangi wanted to talk. I know you lifted your hand way earlier than, I mean, you and Prudence just before we even started. So Asaf Opio, would you like to speak? Your hand is up and I have allowed you to speak. You can unmute yourself. Asaf Opio? Okay, then Frank can go. Frank Wambare, did you want to contribute?
Yeah, so basically, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, I want to add a few points on what the other speakers have said. First one is be careful about competency-based interview. You need to prepare for it. Some of the times it will be scenario-based. Think before you speak. And it's always good to speak answers that are backed up with some scenarios. For example, I recently did an interview where they asked me, how do you deal with the conflict of two members of staff? And such a question, you may adulate it, but the way you answer it, it may make the employer decide not to give you the job or give you. The other thing is you need to be careful about group interviews because sometimes they use employers, they use it so that they can screenshot people to take for the next interview. The other thing is, as one of the speakers said, you have to be careful about the timing of the job. Anytime the job is advertised, apply immediately. Most of the jobs that I've ever got, even here where I'm based in UK, I do apply them immediately, they are advertised and I normally get them. The other thing is you need to be careful about your social media because employers, they go and check what you post on the social media. If you have been posting informations or abusive language or posting things which are dehumanizing to other people, then employers will decide and say, you know what, we don't need such a person. Or if you've been talking bad about employers. The other thing for some of you that are eyeing getting jobs abroad, you need to be careful about the three things. Number one, employers here, they recruit not mostly because of qualification, but because of what you can do. And therefore, in your CV, make sure you have personal profile, you have skills set that you have earned over a process of time, and they come up very well in the CV. You need to articulate very well in your CV about the knowledge and expertise that you have. The other thing is, whenever you're going through the interviews, make sure that you are saying what you can do and what you bring to the new employer, because that's what they are looking for. And then lastly, make sure that your skills are up to date. Qualifications, depending on the job that you're applying, make sure your CPD, they are up to date. And in the event that you're applying for a job that you do not have all the skills or qualifications or expertise they are looking for, be willing to say that you are willing to be trained or to undertake training. And in case you are overqualified for the position, just say, you are willing to take the position and be able to use your transferable skills to help the employer. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments.
Thank you.
We appreciate. I guess the others who had their hands up are just probably by mistake, which is fine. There's somebody who is saying with the current economy, Nelly. Frank, you can mute yourself.
Oh, sorry.
Kevin, are you able to read that last nini? I'm not able to see it fully. With current economy, we are doing jobs we have because we have no.
Because we have no option.
Well, you sometimes you do what you have to do. I mean, this is life. It's survival a bit. So we do what we must do to survive sometimes. So, but don't give up and keep applying. Jairus, you can probably give us your closing remarks.
First of all, I would like to thank you for this opportunity. I think it's been so informative. I've also learned a lot. And what I can say is that never give up. You hold the key to what you want to achieve. So keep pushing, connect. I think for me, when it comes to job search, I always support everyone. So make sure that you connect, make sure that you are ready to learn. Get a mentor. I think I can, for those looking for mentors, you can reach out. I can link you to so many professionals, including Grace and Kevin here. They can be able to guide you guys. So make sure that you get someone to work with you through this journey. Thanks so much and have a blessed night.
Thank you for that. The people who are telling us to do more webinars, we try to do as much. Please go to our YouTube channel. I've said this before. There's a lot on our YouTube channel. You'll find how to do your CV professionally. You'll find how to optimize your LinkedIn. You'll find how to take interviews. You'll find how to negotiate. You'll find a session on whether it is all about the money. We did that with Susan Kiamba. You will find information about picking your pieces. We did one with Frank. We did one with Bernice. All this is on our YouTube channel. There's a lot of information there. Before we even start bringing new, go and learn more from our YouTube. You will definitely get something different, and it will probably give you hope, because we cannot lose hope, by the way, my people. So long as you're looking for a job, you have to push yourself. You have to try and keep going. Like, don't lose hope, yeah? Yes, and tell the audience I'm giving 20% discounts. So if you want to learn more about, on which one, Frank? Maybe you can be a bit specific on the offer, so that then we can all the trainings. Okay, so Frank is offering a 20% discount on all the trainings that they offer at Pathway Solutions. So please, if you want to learn more about anything, you can actually, Frank has content on everything. So if you're looking for a content that, by the way, for those of you who are job seeking and you're probably in a gap, make sure that you get to train, get to learn more. And Frank offers certificate, and the training is on LMS. LMS is Learning Management System. All you need is internet, and you can access your portal and you can learn. And you, at the end of the day, you get a certificate. So make sure that you take advantage of that, and especially on the 20%. He also says, including interviews and career coaching, he's offering that to you guys on a 20% discount. So you can always, Frank, you can put your contact details and share with everyone so that they can probably be able to contact you in the future. Right. So this webinar is definitely brought to you by Atara Solutions. Please make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have shared the links. Join our WhatsApp group. Jacinta, you can share our WhatsApp group on the chat. And make sure that you join us in Sagana. Everyone has told you to network. The only way you network is by, stop going to Sherehe only. Come to where professionals are hooking up, you know. And this Saturday, we are linking up in Sagana. Next Friday, the link up is going to be, we have a HR coffee in Nakuru. Come and network. By the way, one of us came with their daughter for a HR event. And the daughter left there with actually an internship, which was really good, because then they paid actually 5,000 for the daughter to come and network with different professionals. And that 5,000 resulted into their daughter getting internship. So don't say that, oh my God, it's so expensive. We have even as much discounted prices as possible. Now, I know in Uganda as well, they have the HR, the Human Resource Association there has a students rate, but you can also join the membership and be able to learn, be able to network with these people, because they are the people who actually know when there are opportunities. So make sure that you're networking as much as possible. And I hope that you're coming to Sagana. Yes, Sagana, here we come. Please join our WhatsApp group, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram. For those of you who are tuned in on Facebook, please like our page. And of course, we will be here next Tuesday, same time, same place. Frank Wambare of Pathway Solutions is our guest next Tuesday. And then from then on, it's HR month. So we are going to do a lot of topics that concern HRs. And for that reason, you can always come back. Grace, any professional person can attend HR meeting. Yes, yes. By the way, our for Atara Solutions, our networking events are actually made of different professionals. So don't say that I'm only coming to network with HRs. Then you find yourself sitting with a marketer, or you find yourself seated with Jairus here, who is a consultant, or you find yourself seated with somebody else. So just be prepared to come and interact. I think most of my jobs have actually gotten through networks. Yeah, I believe I'm a people. So even for you, by the way, networking works. I tell you, there's a job I'm currently doing, and I met the person who's called me for that job in 2018. And because we have kept in touch, when an opportunity showed up 5 years later, that's when the opportunity has come, and that is how we are able to connect, you see. So and for me personally, if you're networking with people, have something to offer as well, right? I got somebody the other day who has volunteered. They have paid for the event, but they are saying, you know what, Grace, I don't want to sit at the back, I want to help you. So they have paid for the event, but they're also coming to support us in making sure that things are flowing. So you see such opportunities, don't just come and just say, I'm here for Sherehe and sit at the back. No, try as much as possible to lift your hand. Oh my God, I can be a preacher. With that remarks, this is my HR. Please note, I am no longer the host. I just wore my HR, what do we call it? My HR cap. That is where we are at. So, right. And yes, of course, I can say it wasn't a waste of time. Thank you, Atara Solutions. Thank you very much, Nelly. We appreciate that. I don't know whether you have anything for us, Kevin, or this is where we say good night.
Not really, but nonetheless, today's session of Minute taught us a lot about optimizing our CVs, profiles, LinkedIn's, and then branding. That is what we keep on mentioning. Besides that, you need to learn about the interview tips, and that is whenever you're entering into an interview session. With those few remarks looking at the times. Grace, I believe we need to say good night to our viewers.
Okay. Thank you very much for that, Kevin. Of course, thank you, Shamim, in absentia. We appreciate you taking the time to prepare for this. And of course, agreeing to do this on such short notice. Thank you, Jairus, as well, for really coming in. If you know, we had to get in touch with them on Sunday, and they really agreed and got ready to come for this. So if you need to, the problem is most job seekers have no money to do the CV revamp. We should take advantage of the 20% discount. That is true. Please do that. And also, don't worry. You can actually do it yourself. Go to the YouTube channel. Jairus was here and he took us through step by step on how to revamp our CVs. So you don't worry about even paying extra. You can just do it yourself. But of course, if you can sacrifice 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, look for it. It's going to pay off, I tell you. It's going to pay off. So, naondoka na elimu kuu. Thank you very much. What is my number? My number is 0721442223. Okay. 0721442223. Right, there's my number. So thank you so much. Thank you, guys. You guys are awesome. Okay. Thank you very much. You guys are wonderful. We appreciate you joining us. Thank you I hope that you can make a difference in your job search. And I pray to God that actually you get an opportunity to make a difference for yourself as well. Doors will open for you at the right time. Keep pushing, don't give up, and keep going. Have yourselves a good night and see you in Sagana. And of course, for those of you who are in Kampala and you're not coming to Kenya, see you on Tuesday. And as we listen to Frank Wambari. Have yourselves a lovely night.